Are you about to watch this video and you're not liked and subscribed to it? Like the video, please. Just go down. It's right there. It's right there.
I did. I hit it. I hit it. Have you hit it?
Welcome back to Starting Nine.
Let's go.
Episode 258. Dallas, I gotta talk to you about the last few episodes that we've done.
Okay.
So
Talk to me.
before you got to the Airbnb,
True.
By the way, go to the YouTube channel. We actually had a really nice setup for the episode that we did in Denver for the All-Star game.
Time out. Don't undersell it. Easily the best setup.
Oh, it was the best
Easily
setup.
the best setup we've ever had.
Yeah, it was like we were filming the fucking View.
I walked in. I'm not gonna lie. I walked in and was like, I started to have a panic attack because I was like, I have clearly not read an email. I have clearly missed something here because there's a big ass couch over there. There's 3 fucking people I've never even seen before that I'm getting ready to do this. Like, what the fuck is going on? Who did we? I had no idea.
It was very professional.
Yeah, way too professional.
But that entire episode, it was a good episode too. It was a really good episode.
Great episode.
So check that out on the Starting Nine YouTube channel. But before you got there, the audio guy was like, will there be, do you guys like yell a lot on the podcast? Is it like up and down? And I was like, no, but we do at the very beginning. And I went back to like Spotify and I was like, here's an example. I played the first one and it was very subdued Let's Go by you. And I was like, wait, no, let me get the second one. Very subdued Let's Go. And I was like, what the fuck? Like, did I just like not remember that like Dallas was recording these while like a baby was sleeping or something?
That is weird. I mean, that very well could have been the possibility because you got to remember, Jared, first time we fired this thing up. Episode 1 came
No. It was like the last couple episodes before the Denver one.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they were like subdued. Yeah.
Well, that's 1,000% my fault, and I apologize for that. I've got to be better. So did we catch our boy off guard? Is that what happened?
Well, I was like, yeah, like we yell at the beginning, and then I was trying to show him what it sounds like, and I was like, well, that's just in my head, not what it sounds like.
This is wildly inaccurate.
Yeah. Yeah,
well,
but that setup in Denver, very awesome. Got some cool social clips coming your way from that podcast. I had the fucking flight from hell coming back from Denver.
Oh, well, dude, so this is how you got to learn to do this, and you become a weather geek of sorts and like air traffic controller, like tracking plane flights and shit. Why? Because when I was working at ESPN, like, dude, I took over 240 flights a year, Jared. And so I was always tracking that shit. Power outages, weather, rerouting, like just trying to get home from the East Coast is a fucking nightmare. So you learn to track that shit. Well, saw right away. Weather potentially in the area. So the day before, I got on the horn and was like, yo, Kels, homegirl, we have got to get your boy back to Cali before that fucking storm hits. Otherwise, I'm fucked. I'm not going to be able to get home. Can't happen. So we switched my flight. Thank God. And I texted you this as I was taking off. Maybe I had already landed. Fuck, I don't know. But it was like, hey, power outage, airport. Like, just check your flights and shit. Make sure your shit's good to go.
Yeah. So, like, something happened where I got to the Denver airport, which is, I don't know if you're into conspiracies, but there are a lot of conspiracies within the Denver airport.
Hold on. Conspiracy would say that there's some, like, potential room for it to not be true.
Yeah. No, it's true.
I'll tell you right now. What I know is fucking real.
Yeah.
All right?
Yeah.
It's real.
Yeah. There's a lot of shit going on at the Denver airport. But I get there, and then I get stuck at the literal worst time to get stuck. So when you're going through security, you put your bag on the fucking conveyor belt.
Yep.
And then you go through like the body scanner.
Yep.
And then I come out the other side. I'm the first guy in line waiting for my bag. And then some guy comes out and they're like, shut down the scanners, shut down the scanners. They shut down the entire airport. So like now I have no shoes and my phone is in my fucking bag. I have no communication with the outside world. And I asked this woman and I was like, what's going on? She was like, yeah, like they don't tell us. If they tell us to shut it down, then the whole airport has to shut down. And I was like, okay, how long does this usually take? She's like, could be 20 minutes, could be 2 hours. We never know. And I was like, awesome. So I haven't eaten yet. I have no cell phone. I have no shoes. And I believe my wallet was also in the bag. So I was like, I can't even eat if I wanted to.
No.
I was like, this is the fucking worst. So then they turn it back on.
Well, you weren't going to be able to eat anyway. Everything's shut down. Whether you had your wallet or not, you're still fucked.
Yeah, you can't move. They
Right,
said
you're
you
not
can't
going anywhere, bud.
Yeah, yeah. They don't allow you to move. So then they switch my gate, which is an entirely different like train ride to the other gate. So I get to the gate, and then get on the flight. It's delayed for half an hour, and I'm sitting in row 6,000.
Well, and for the people who don't understand the Denver airport, like if you get a gate change, that could be like if you're on the East Coast and you're like, am I going JFK? Am I going LaGuardia? Like, what am I doing here? Like, that's the difference. Like, that's the kind of fucking walk you're going to have to make. Like, oh, your flight was out of JFK? No, now it's out of LaGuardia. Like,
Yeah.
That's how you, like, that's the gate change at Denver. You will need to you're going to have to stop and get gas.
Pretty
If
much.
you're driving a Tesla, you're going to have to charge that bitch before you get to the next gate.
Yeah. No, it was a motherfucker. That was delayed a half an hour. And then I get on the flight, row 6,000, and homeboy in the back, the worst person imaginable. He's like,
Want to talk?
No, not talking to me. He's talking to the fucking flight attendant. He's like, yeah, so me and my fiance, like, we paid extra to sit next to each other, and our seats aren't together, so like, I'm pretty sure someone's going to have to fix that right now. I mean, like, it is my fiance. Like, obviously, we want to sit next to each other. Like, it's my fiance. Like, he dropped that, like, 5 fucking times.
Because he guaranteed he had just proposed within the last 30 days. He might have even done it in the fucking ballpark village somewhere at the All-Star game.
He could have, but he dropped fiance a good 600 fucking times.
Sure.
And then
Very
some angel finally speaks up after hearing this fucking dickhead talk for 20 minutes. They're like, maybe she did it to get away from you. Someone legit said that. And so then that's how the flight
And he's
started.
like, what, my fiance? You think my fiance wanted to get away
Yeah,
from me? My fiance?
My fiance
God.
would do that? No, not my fiance. So then we're flying for like, I don't know, 4 hours. And then the dude sitting next to me nudges me. I got my headphones in. He nudges me and he's like, you obviously didn't hear that announcement. And I was like, what? He's like, you're way too calm. We're going to Syracuse. And I was like, what? He's like, yeah, we're out of fuel. So we got to land in Syracuse and fuel up. And who knows how long that could take. I was like,
no.
all right, sick. So we fucking land in Syracuse. We got to wait for the fuel trucks to come out. They fuel us up. We're on the ground for like fucking, I don't know, 2 hours, hour and a half. And then we finally take off for Boston again. We land in Boston. And then, like, it was one of, like, you know how sometimes you have a flight where you land and like the doors are open within like 10 minutes?
Sure.
Less? No. We're like, after all the shit that this flight has been through, like, we've landed and the doors have not opened for like 40, 45 minutes. I'm like, get me off this
that's
fucking
the best
plane.
Because the pilot comes over. That's when the pilot comes over and is like, well, just like to thank you guys for flying with us. And,
Yeah.
let you know we have touched down here a little ahead of schedule. I know we had some bumps on the way in, but no big deal. Crew did a
No
good
big
job.
deal.
Got you filled up.
Nobody died.
And we have touched down early. Unfortunately, that means we're going to spend a little time here on the tarmac. That's right. So just a few more minutes, about 10, 15. We'll get a push back here. We'll get into our gate, get you guys home safely. Sound good? All right. And then they come back on 35 fucking minutes later.
Yeah.
Guys, this is your captain speaking. We're completely fucked right now, and I know it's been terrible for you, but there's really nothing I can do about it. So grab some peanuts, maybe top off that water, and hang with them.
Hang with them.
Like that's it. Like don't tell me I should be excited that we've touched down early if I'm gonna have to sit on this fucking fart tube for the next hour.
Yeah.
Like what good is it that we've gotten here early?
Oh my God.
If you've just put these people through a fucking like a landing and refueling, and you got to get up. Like, please, you might as well have just flown with the fucking doors open, so people could be like, you know what, 10,000 feet, I can survive this. I'm out.
Yeah, and I think it should be like, it's 2021, Dallas. It should be fucking illegal to operate a flight longer. I would say the cutoff is probably 2 hours. A flight longer than 2 hours that doesn't have a TV for every seat. Are you fucking kidding me?
You got to think about it this way. They've got internet, most of them, and it's terrible at best.
Terrible.
But everybody traveling, and this is just assumed, so shout out Steve Jobs, here you go, that you've got a device in your hand that can do that for you. So, business-wise, why would I spend money to put TVs in the back of this fucking thing if I know that you've got a phone and I can actually charge you to buy my Wi-Fi to supply you your own entertainment? That's a win for me. So that's why the airlines are going to be done doing that. That's why you got to ride in the front of the plane if you want any of that action.
Yeah, no, it's terrible. That was the
That's
worst
fucking
flight
brutal.
of my
But
entire
you know what?
life.
Shout out to your captain who was like, you know what? Delays, whatever. Like, I don't know. I could just imagine him like hitting the gauge, the fuel gauge. Like, yeah, I think we got enough. Fuck it. Let's go.
Yeah.
Wheels up. Let's get these fucking people back to Boston. Come on.
Yeah.
And then halfway through, like, what happens? Like, do you start to hear a sputter? You're like, what the fuck was that? What? But we can't just pull over, okay? We can't just pull this fucking thing over. Are you sure we've got? No, we should probably get to Syracuse. We're fucked.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's trouble.
Wasn't great, but it was worth the trip. I mean, the trip was fun.
It was great. I had a great time. I didn't even see my Airbnb until 3:30 in the fucking morning.
Yeah.
I landed at 2:40 whatever in the afternoon, dropped my bag off at the Airbnb lobby, sprinted to meet you and Bryn, who were already at the field, tried to get my credential, didn't have my vaccination card, had to call the guy at the Airbnb, get into my backpack, rifle through it, find my vax card, take a picture, DM me that photo so I could show it to the lady at the fucking credential office. Mm-hmm. Then we finally get into the ball game or get into the derby, and epicness ensued. It was great.
It was a great time.
I had a phenomenal time.
They need to do something about the fucking, like in Denver, because when they were like, yeah, you need to show your vax card, I was like, all right, cool. And then when I got to the field, I was like, do you have to wear a mask on the field? And they were like, no. In Boston, you have to show your vax card, and you still have to wear a mask.
Well, that's because your organization is not 85% vaccinated.
It comes from the league because the security, yes, because the league, yes, it's not the Red Sox.
If your organization,
the security on the field does not have to wear a mask. It's like it's an agreement that they have with the media. It has nothing to do with the team, because like you've got these college kids that are getting paid hourly to stand out there and be security. They're not required to wear a mask. And then you have like these adults that are probably just going home to their families. They have to wear a mask. It makes no fucking sense.
Yeah, like, because I mean, I can't speak to a relationship between security guards and organizations and shit like that. Yeah. I just know that there's like, when you see parameters like that in places, a lot of times it's because that 85% vax mark has not been hit by an organization.
It would make sense if they also made so the first homestand that they allowed people back on the field, everyone had to wear a mask, and then the second homestand. It was only media.
Well,
like
Jared,
security didn't have to anymore.
Listen to what I'm about to tell you. When they had people before it was even back to full capacity, all right, as a interviewer after the game or whatever, during the game, while I'm calling the game, during the game, mask on. Nobody even around me. Okay? Mask on. I'm the only dude in the fucking section. Mask on. Must have all 3 hours of the ball game. As soon as the last pitch is thrown, I am asked to take my mask off so I can then get down onto the field around the players and interview the player who has his arm around me, touching me, punching me, hitting me in the dick below the camera that you guys can't see. I'm getting doused with fucking like, what? So 3 hours leading up to that, I have to have a mask on.
Yeah.
With nobody around me.
Yeah.
But then as soon as the last pitch is thrown, please, Dallas, by all means, get out onto that field next to these players, and could you do us a favor and take that mask off?
Makes no sense.
What?
Makes no sense.
Oh,
it's ridiculous.
Okay. Like, what? Okay.
It's ridiculous.
That's how shit's going.
This was our second All-Star game. No, this is our third.
No, third.
I forgot about fucking DC. This is our third All-Star game. Where was the All-Star game in 2017? I don't even remember.
Cleveland.
No.
You sure?
2017. It was in 19. It was in Cleveland.
Oh, okay. Well, that's what I was talking about. 17. I don't know. Are you maybe? Are you sure this is our third All-Star game?
Yeah, because we were in DC in 18. Where the fuck was it? It was. Oh, that was in Miami. Duh, because the Aaron Judge home run derby. Yeah. So 18 was in DC, 19 was in Cleveland, and then this year was in Denver. How do you think it's stacked up in terms of All-Star games that you've been to?
Well, I've got a lot of recency bias in my brain right now. A lot, and for a lot of different reasons. I still haven't come down from just what having Shohei Ohtani on display for the weekend or for the 2-day period, what that means to the game, what that meant, the energy. I mean, I was talking to people on the airplane about Ohtani. They were asking questions about, and like that just, for me, that really showed like how big of an impact this was. Even if you felt like it was going to be, you were excited, you had a great time. Well, was everybody else as excited about it as you were? I think the numbers tell you, yeah, they were. And the conversations that I've had, yeah. But I was also looking at this through a different lens, Jared, because of all the ballpark shit we got going on in Oakland. I wanted to take in how things were done, fan traffic to and from the ballpark, just a lot of different stuff that maybe a lot of people aren't looking at. So I'll start there. Fans, they looked entertained from pitch one or minute one when they walked into the ballpark. There was a ton of shit going on, great energy. As far as traveling, getting to and from the ballpark, crowds and everything, the community, the police force, they did a phenomenal job in navigating folks, helping people get to where they needed to be, because you got the ballpark village or the play ballpark stuff going on, convention center. It was a great setup. You got a really good vibe for what a ballpark in the area thriving can mean for a community. But just like Alonso coming back-to-back champing it, there was a lot, dude. There was a lot that made me feel like even without 14, 15, 20 fucking regular All-Stars that could have, should have been on that stage, it feels like the guys who were there did more than a good enough job of putting the game on display.
I think I will say this about Cleveland, because Cleveland gets a bad rap. Cleveland was an awesome city that I feel like everyone shits on, but I loved Cleveland, and I feel like there was more of a citywide celebration going on in Cleveland more than there was in Denver. Is that fair?
It is. I'll say this. I feel like the ballpark and the like, because there's bars and stuff around the area of both bars, or of both ballparks. But it feels like you walk out of Cleveland and it's like right in your face.
Right. Yeah. Cleveland was kind of just like all over the place, and they had like those big open areas where, you know, they could have different events and stuff. Like Denver, like one of my favorite cities to go to. I was talking about that with like pretty much any person that came up to me that lived there and was like, "Hey man, like, you know, is this your first time in Denver?" No. You like the city? Like, I love the city. I love being in Denver. But I think what was really cool was that we saw a lot of like out of town baseball fans flying out to the All-Star game. A lot of people that were, showing up to support their guys, which is, you would see an All-Star game as the celebration of that city. And I'm not saying that Rockies fans weren't showing out for the All-Star game. Of course they were. Of course Rockies fans were there. But I think it was, out of the 3 All-Star games that we have been to, I think it was the biggest mix of like out-of-town baseball fans.
And I truly believe it's because there are players that have people's attention now. Whether or not you're a fan of their team, you're becoming a fan of players. And I think that is happening more so right now than maybe has really ever. Like, you had your hallmark guys, your marquee guys that your dad grew up loving, that his dad grew up loving. And they might have played for your team, and that's why you loved them. And there might have been a couple other guys that you had that love for, but they didn't have that, like, magnetic draw that I think a lot of guys in this game have. Somebody from Maine absolutely loves them some Fernando Tatis Jr.
Yeah.
And that person got on a plane this year and went to Colorado to watch that dude play. And the same can be said for a guy in Texas who loves Ohtani and feels completely fucking out of place. The guys in Missouri who I ran into who were like, the minute that Chris Bassett's name came across that fucking screen, we sold everything we needed to get our plane tickets and get out here. We were like, that's the like you love that. And you got folks like that all across our game now. All across our game. Like, think about Vlad Guerrero. Like, and Marley Rivera, reporter for the New York Yankees, or for ESPN, she covers the Yankees, I believe. But she made the point that we all picked up on, and it was highlighting the fact that the starting pitcher, the winning pitcher of the game, was Japanese. The closing pitcher was Australian. And the MVP of the All-Star game is a Dominican born in Canada, a Canadian Dominican. I don't know how you say that. Like, I'm not trying to be. I honestly is Canadian. You know what I mean? Like how you say Mexican American, African American. Do you say? I don't know how to say that, so I'm not trying to butcher that. But the guy, like, that's the kind of culture on display.
Mm-hmm.
And fans in America aren't just like beholden to one team, one player. They got guys all over the place.
Yeah.
And so I feel like players are pulling these fans out, man. They are. And this is why the fight for the player personality to be on display is what it is, because you can get a sense of them, you get their vibe, and now you're attracted to them. Now you want to see more.
Yeah. I saw some fucking dickheads being like trying to rain on Vladdy's parade because it's like the dude. What? Yeah, they were like because, like, you know, Vladdy, like, there's pictures of Vladdy as a little kid at the All-Star game. Then he grows up to be the All-Star game MVP. And, like, that's a fucking awesome story. And then people are like, oh, yeah, like, the son of a multimillionaire grew up to have success. Who would have thought? It's like, there are a lot of sons of millionaires who just grow up to be pieces of shit and not talented Major League Baseball superstars. Mm-hmm. And I know that there are plenty of all-star
I got a couple friends like that. They're surfing right now.
Yeah. Like, I there are plenty of, like, all-star game MVPs that don't necessarily become MVP-type players over full seasons, but Vladdy's doing both. So, yeah, let's give the guy a little bit of credit. I mean, there's plenty of individuals who come from wealthy upbringings who do not go on to have any type of success, never mind the success in the field that their father created the path for them to get to.
And I always ask people that have that stance to think about this. You think you're so much better than those people? Why? Because you scratched and clawed and didn't have some of the things that they had available to them? That doesn't make you better than them. No, and I could even argue, and I won't, but you could argue that the pressure of having everything at your disposal and not succeeding could be greater, because it's like, oh, no, you're supposed to be this doctor. You're supposed to be this lawyer. You're supposed to be this big. Could you imagine being 7, 8 years old and people looking at you like, well, you got to be a big leaguer, or like you've failed your big league father?
Yeah.
That's not how that shit goes. Come on, man.
Yeah. I mean, has there ever been a father-son MVP combo?
No, but there's the Bonds, the Griffies, and now the Vlad Cakes are the three sets to have homered in the All-Star game.
Well, wow, Barry was never an All-Star game MVP.
Mm-mm.
But Bobby was.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting.
Griffey, not Griffey Sr., I believe, right?
Was Ken Griffey Jr.?
Or am I just thinking Derby?
I mean, 3-time Derby champ. He was an All-Star game MVP.
There you go.
But he was an MVP. What year did he win MVP? That must have been 97.
97.
Yeah, 97. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, there's never been a father.
Even that's cool, right? Like father son. All three of those combinations have hit homers in the All-Star game. Barry, not the MVP. His dad, yes. Griffey, the MVP. His dad, no. Vlad Cakes, Jr. MVP. Dad, no. I mean,
Well, Ken Griffey Jr. and Sr. were both All-Star Game MVPs, which is pretty cool.
yeah, but not regular. Like
Not regular
senior,
season,
not a
yeah.
regular season. Yeah.
Nope. So, I mean, right now, I would imagine, I don't have the, those would be the father-son combos that would be able to do it, but there's never been a father-son combo to win the MVP.
So
Could happen.
Vladdy,
Yeah.
gonna need you.
Gonna need you.
Gonna need you. Unfortunately, so let's make it a 2-horse race right now.
Shohei, Vladdy, the field.
You know where I'm riding. Let's put it like this. And I've said this. I don't know that a triple crown does it for Vlad.
I don't think it does either, but like, so here's what I want to do. Once we get into like September, maybe, I want to do a starting 9 episode where we have guys who either will be or have in the past voted for the MVP award.
Mm-hmm.
I want to hear them talk about how they're going to vote for Shohei. Like, what metrics are you using? Like, are you combining his wins above replacement as a position player and a pitcher, and then stacking that up against guys that are just position player? Like, how are you evaluating him as a player who plays the field or hits and also pitches? How are you doing that to compare him to his competitors for the MVP award? Like, how?
And we'll call it Show Me the V card. And that means, what does your V mean? Define your V.
Yeah.
I've talked about this. I talked about this at ESPN. I've talked about this anytime this conversation comes up. Every time. It's defining the V. What does the valuable mean to you? And that's how we will arrive. That's how everybody arrives at their answer.
Yeah.
And there's no way. That's why I show it like, dude, there's just no other way to process this as him being the most valuable player in the game of baseball, the most valuable player to the game of baseball, the most valuable player on his team. This is a guy who's pitching and hitting at an award-winning clip.
Yeah.
Like, to try to separate those is doing a disservice to what the player is doing. If you want to compare him just offensively, you're not doing him the justice he deserves. You're not giving him the fair shake as a total player. You're now separating him. You're splicing his performance up to match a narrative or to put him in a box where you think you have to judge. Just because you've never been able to judge a player based on their offensive and pitching production and compare that to somebody else doesn't mean you can't do it. Just means you've never had to.
Right.
Now you have to. And what's great about it is that becomes a really easy task in my mind. Because, again, let's just go ahead and throw 20 starts onto Vlad's offensive production. And let's go ahead and throw a 3.5 ERA with 100+. Let's go ahead and throw all of that production onto Vlad's offensive production. What would your argument then be? Like, if there was no Shohei Ohtani and Vlad Guerrero Jr. was doing what Shohei is, who would be the next comp or who would be the next MVP candidate in the American League? Like, take Shohei out of it right now.
Okay.
All right? Ohtani is still in Japan. He
Yep.
doesn't even exist over
Doesn't
here.
exist.
And Vlad Guerrero Jr. is doing what he's doing right now
Yep.
offensively.
Yep.
Who's the guy threatening him for the MVP right now?
Bogarts?
Maybe.
Yeah, but I think
So now think about that. And what if I told you Vlad Guerrero had a fucking 3.5? You'd be like, hold on, what? Like, so I get to actually like put Vlad on the mound
it is Bogarts.
and have him do what he's doing? And so if that's the case, then the All-Star, or the MVP conversation is not even a conversation. Like, what are we even doing asking who's as good as this guy. Like, it's one thing to acknowledge what Xander might be doing, but it's another thing to insult Vlad Jr. and go, well, I feel like he's as good as no. Stop. He's not.
Yeah, like right now, Vladimir Guerrero Jr. leads the majors and wins above replacement. He's at 4.6. Shohei's at 4. Bogarts is at 3.9. But then if you look at the pitchers.
Uh-oh. Hold on. No, Jared, do you know what? Just do me a favor here. Let's make this really simple.
Okay.
Just start with, let me pick a guy. Start with Ohtani's WAR as a pitcher.
Okay. I don't know that it's like crazy high or anything. Is he not qualified?
He might not even be qualified, actually.
That would be weird if he wasn't qualified. Where the fuck is he? I don't know. I don't think he's qualified.
Well, here, let me answer that question. It's going to be really easy. Shohei's the only one with a WAR as a pitcher.
Correct.
You killed my joke not having those numbers ready. But the answer is we can start with Shohei and we can stop with Shohei because nobody else in the conversation has a WAR as a pitcher. We don't know. Well, we do know what they would be doing at a replacement level, and it's not what Shohei does.
The fuck? Why wouldn't he be qualified?
He hasn't made the amount of starts necessary.
But I feel like he has.
To be a qualified starter.
He's made 13 starts. How is he not qualified?
I don't know. What is the minimum innings for a starting pitcher?
I don't know, but he's got 67 innings. So, I mean, I don't know. Maybe Dr. Claw can help us out there. Anyways, yeah, whatever it is, you add those two together, and I would imagine it's higher than Vladdy.
Yeah, I would imagine. Yeah, no, if we're talking about whose pitching WAR is higher, Ohtani's or Vladdy's, I'm definitely going to go with Ohtani's.
Yeah. I did have some thoughts on the All-Star game, though, before we kind of moved on from this.
Please.
Now that it doesn't determine home field advantage in the World Series, I'm curious how you feel, because I can see it from both sides, and I don't feel crazy passionate about my stance about it on either side. But the All-Star game, if a guy has an All-Star worthy season, he deserves to make the All-Star team, no doubt.
Yes.
But how, like, when you're looking at like the National League, we didn't have an outfield of like Mookie Betts, Bryce Harper, and Juan Soto. Like, we didn't see that. Like, two of those guys weren't even there. So
well, did they deserve to be there?
But like, there's
no.
Yes.
Answer the
in the
answer.
past, like, if we were to go through.
Look.
Hold on.
Look,
if you're asking me a
is
question,
how,
let me answer. Let me answer the question.
Well, answer yes or no. Just answer that part.
I am. This is my answer. If you were to go back and look at some of these, like,
you're answering it with a question.
No. If you were to go back and look at some of these like legendary Hall of Fame guys, and they made the All-Star team and fucking they played for 21 seasons, they made the All-Star team in 19 of those seasons.
Yeah.
They did not deserve to be an All-Star in all 19 of those years, but that was when the All-Star game was an All-Star game. That was when it was, let's put all the fucking best players on the field. And it's a spectacle because okay, so one of the best players in the league, we know that he's one of the best players. He may not have had a great first half, but, you know, people will definitely pay to come out and see player X. I feel like we've gotten away from that.
Well, and I'm okay with that because how do the Pirates fall in love with Brian Reynolds? How do Pirates fans fall in love with Frazier if they don't have the opportunity to do so? If those guys have those seasons and are passed over for name power and name recognition, that's totally unfair. Totally unfair as far as a fan base.
Well, they can
is
still make
concerned
the team.
that wants to, no. See, that's the bullshit right there. Is look, I'm all for Juan Soto being at the game because he's a great player and he would bring people to the game, but he didn't earn that. I'm sorry. He didn't earn that. And you know who did? Somebody else. And you want to know who could potentially turn into a Juan Soto of sorts? Maybe that guy. Or you're going to tell me he can't. Okay, why are you going to tell me he can't? Because you haven't seen him do it? Well, that would just keep being the answer if we never gave him the opportunity to shine. So he has a good year. Let's put him on the game's biggest stage that celebrates guys that have a great year, because that could very well be the start to a 19-year run of all-star games in a row. But we're not going to let that happen because somebody's got a bigger name. That's not it. And that's why I also, when you make the team, I am here for the individuals who understand the responsibility of the game and what that means. I don't know. Did Derek Jeter ever decline an all-star game?
I don't recall. If he did, I'm sure it was injury related. Like, Derek Jeter, to my knowledge, never turned down an all-star game because he, quote unquote, wanted to prepare for the second half and stay fresh for the Yankees to win a World Series. Like, I don't. And
that dude played more postseason games. He played 2 careers worth of postseason games. So you mean to tell me that Derek Jeter couldn't have afforded to take a breather at some point in time in his career, and he didn't. And he didn't because he knows exactly what he meant to the game. There's a level of responsibility to this. There is. I don't care whether players like it or not. There's a level of responsibility to this. And if you want to be lauded, you want to be applauded, you want to be celebrated, then you have to understand there's a give and take here. You absolutely do owe that to the fans. From a player's perspective, you want the time to rest, recover, enjoy your family. But you also understood that coming into this as a 20-year-old bright-eyed prospect who wanted nothing but to get to the big leagues, be an all-star, win a ring, those fans are what motivated that sense. And it's the fans who put that 1 star on the back of Cedric Mullins this year. And I hope Cedric Mullins remembers that, and talking to him and hearing him talk, he'll never forget it. He will never forget it. And he struck me as a guy, just listening to him, that would understand the responsibility of growing into a perennial all-star and being present for the game. For the fans who love this game, who have made you who you are now, somebody who gets celebrated day in and day out for your accomplishments on the field. If you care about the game and you want to grow the game and you understand that you are a key recipe or a key ingredient in the recipe for the game, that is a responsibility. And that's where we run into the whole role model thing. And I always try to tell parents, don't look to the NFL star, the NBA star, the MLB star, the hockey star, the WNBA, to raise your children and give them the guidance on the path to success. That's not who these individuals are. They are athletes, elite level athletes who have prepared and trained to get themselves to where they are today. That doesn't necessarily mean that you would want them babysitting your children. So there's going to be players who understand that, you know what, I don't give a shit. Responsibility, whatever, kiss my ass. I'm here to make money, win a ring, and ride off into the sunset. But for every player who doesn't have that mindset, I would implore them to take a step back and remember and understand the responsibility as a player in these situations. Because, Jared, we're talking about guys in the 60s and 70s and 80s who had 20-year careers, 20-year all-star runs. It was those individuals showing up the last 3 years when they didn't need to be there, didn't frankly deserve to be there, but were there as stewards of the game, being present and physically there for the folks who had brought them and supported them along their ride their entire career. A tip of the cap from the players to the fans. That's what the All-Star game should be about.
Yeah, but that kind of like proves my point that like the All-Star game should have stars. Like the All-Star game itself is not a star maker. Like the Home Run Derby is a star maker. I feel like that is a night. It's almost gone backwards. And by the way, I love that they've included the draft as part of this whole event now. I feel like you have to like the futures game and the draft, like the draft as a standalone is never going to even as part of the All-Star event, it's never going to be as big as the NFL draft. It's never going to be as big as the NBA draft. But you can make it more significant. You can make people care about it more for sure. And I love that they've made it a part of this event. But I feel like now the All-Star game, All-Star week, it's all about the All-Star game. Like, that's the main event. The home run derby's the main event.
Oh, home run derby's been the main event.
Yeah.
Like, been the main event. I said it the minute that they changed the format. I'll go back and I'll go back and try to find the tweet. The minute that they changed the format, I said, this right here is your main attraction. And the home run derby is unequivocally the best all-star display, best all-star non-game display of the 4 major sports.
Yes.
Slam dunk contest, fucking beat it. Pro Bowl, fucking beat it. I don't know what they do in hockey. Shoot around, whatever, beat it. The home run derby, the king. It is king and remains king.
Yeah, that's why I think, we talked about on the last episode incentivizing players just to show up. I think they should incentivize them all. Like $500K to show up. If you get invited.
That's not enough. That's not enough.
I mean, you get $1 million to win.
Right. It's all about the people, all about the play. Like, that's why it's so great for Pete Alonso, because he's made more money hitting baseballs in 2 nights than he's made in his entire career as a New York Met. So you can incentivize that guy with a smaller chunk of change, but if that chunk of change compounds, so let's say Pete got $500 for the initial invitation, and then because he's already done it and won it, that number goes up to $1 million. And if Pete accepts, great. Now he's an all-star again for the second time. Third time around, you don't want to know what Pete's getting? He's getting $3 million to show up. Pete doesn't show up, that number starts again back at 0. So Pete makes 3 all-star games in a row. He's making $3 million in that third game, that third all-star game. Say he makes it the 4th year and declines to go, that number resets. And then he makes it the 5th year. Pete could have well been in line to make $5 million that 5th all-star game.
Where's this money coming from?
Buddy, there's money there. There's money there.
Where?
There's money there. And from the league to incentivize these players, there's money there.
You think the league is going to shell out that money?
If you're trying to get players there.
I mean, teams are on the hook for that in some contracts. Like, there's bonuses for players making all-star games, but like I
get that. But
those
the team,
bonuses are like $25,000. Like, we're not talking $5 million. Like, that's a lot.
No, but those bonuses are incentive bonuses for the player per the organization.
Right.
It's the league's job to grow their sport, not the organization's job.
Sure.
So the league now has to step in and figure out how to get those players there. Because all the league's doing is sending them the golden ticket. Doesn't mean everybody wants to go hang out with Willy Wonka. So you've got to incentivize me to come hang out with Wonka. Like that's just a slap in the face. Guess what, Uncle Manfred? You, a.k.a. Willie, not that fucking cool. Don't really want to come hang out with you. So bread me up. Let's talk. Otherwise, nah, man. Like, players, and this is where people are going, do players really want that 4 or 5 day vacation as opposed to a 500? Yeah, the players that are going to be making that all-star game for the 4th and 5th time, yeah, they'll tell you to keep your money, and they'll go on vacation with their family. They're doing it. Like, it's not something that's going to happen. That's what's happening right now. That's so, crazy. Like, I'm not opening your eyes. Like, it's just, that's real. What I'm telling you is real. Those are facts. I don't know. That's just how that goes. So that's where the money would have to come from, Jared. Like, that's why the organizations incentivize their players. Hey, if you produce well and make an all-star team, as a greedy owner, you know what that means? The numbers on the back of your baseball card are helping us get to the postseason, where I will make even more money. Oh, great job. You did well. Have fun in Colorado. I don't want to go. I don't fucking care. I'll see you after the All-Star game. Sound good? And you'll keep raking, won't you? And Rob Manfred's going, well, hey, can you get him to come to my show in Denver? And the owner's going, Rob, buddy, you got to figure that out. That ain't my fucking job, pal. I incentivized him to perform for me on the field for our team. I don't know what you got to do for your team, but good luck.
Yeah.
It's really simple. It's really simple.
I do not see the league doing that. I don't.
Well, and I'm not saying that they even would, but like, if we're again trying to carve out a path to how you get these guys here, there's no, you start with money. Okay? It's that simple.
It's also pretty simple to have longer lasting sex. And most guys have tried different ways to last longer. But, thinking about baseball, it doesn't always work. And the folks at Roman, an online men's health company, are changing the game with Roman swipes. It's the secret to longer-lasting sex. Roman swipes are a clinically proven way to last longer in bed. They're effective, easy to use, and fast-acting, but don't require a prescription. Roman can ship swipes to you in a discreet, unmarked package, and each swipes packet is small enough to hide in your wallet for whenever you need it. They're super easy to use. Just take the swipes out of the pocket, swipe it on, you let it dry, you're good to go. That's it. Actually, I met a bunch of dudes with the Tampa Bay Rays at the All-Star game, and you could tell they were all like, yeah, that's that fucking weirdo that talks about having sex with Tyler Glass now. That's him.
What, like who'd you meet? You talking about?
I met Joey Wendell.
Yeah.
Yeah, he came up. Super nice dude. Congratulated him. There were some coaches there. I didn't meet Cash.
No. Cash Monet.
Oh, and then yeah, you were there when we met someone behind the scenes with Tampa.
Yep.
You were there for that conversation.
I was there for that.
Yeah. I'd love to meet Cash sometime.
Be a good conversation.
It would be. It's an even better conversation when you go to GetRoman.com/starting. You can get your first month of swipes for just $5 when you choose a monthly plan. That is GetRoman.com/starting.
Could you imagine getting down to the end of an interview and just pulling out a Roman swipe from your wallet and like rubbing it on the lips of the person you're interviewing? You're like, what the fuck are you doing? I've just had so much fun. I want this to keep going.
I just really wanted this to last longer.
I want to keep talking to you.
Yeah.
Do your lips like this.
All right. We're going to make
Second
some
half.
bold predictions here. One bold prediction for the American League and one bold prediction for the National League each. What do we got?
I don't know. I feel like I've already kind of made my bold prediction.
What, the fucking... You made an idiotic prediction.
It was not idiotic by any means. Not by any means. Not by... I mean, I had everybody that writes words for the San Francisco Giants agreed. Was like, yeah, there's... No. And then... and then baseball happened. You know, as far as a bold prediction goes, I don't know if it's American League or National League. Can I throw this out there? We will see somebody that was drafted in this year's draft in the big leagues this year.
I don't think that's bold. I think the Angels already said that they plan on
Did they?
hot-shotting their first-round guy, yeah.
Well, they got 20 of them to pick from.
They do.
What about one of those players showing up in the postseason?
I don't know if that's bold enough. I don't know if you've got the balls to actually make a bold prediction here.
I mean, like, a bold prediction for the American League. Like, I feel like the things I feel like everything's defined. And I don't want to make the homer call. Like, what, Boston, Tampa, what's a bold prediction there? A bold prediction that Toronto overtakes both teams and wins the division?
Yeah.
Like,
That would be bold.
That'd be strong.
That'd be pretty
very
bold.
strong. What are we talking about in the AL Central? Chicago White Sox. Next question. What are we talking about in the AL West? Like, is it bold to say the A's overtake Houston? I don't know.
Well,
if
I mean,
that's
it
bold.
doesn't have to be about, like, the standings. You could be like, it could be about a trade. Bold prediction. The Angels trade Shohei Ohtani to the Red Sox for Michael Chavis.
Keep fucking dreaming.
I mean, they don't need him.
Bold prediction. Here's my AL bold prediction, actually.
What is it?
I told you that I had a conversation with a slugger in the AL.
Mm-hmm.
We had a nice embrace. Every time he hugs me, I feel like I'm a 7-year-old child. And I said, hey, great to see you here, man. Your name's been kicking around a little. Obviously, you're aware of that. I said, I would absolutely love to see you in green and gold. And I can't quote his exact response because that might give it away. But the sentiment was, if I'm going anywhere, I'd love it to be there. I would love it to be there.
Yeah.
So I with that being said, I can't really throw the name out there. So I guess I just fucked myself on that bold prediction.
Yeah, you did.
Since I'm not going to throw that out there.
Yeah.
Bold prediction, the Oakland A's go get themselves a big slugger.
Mm-hmm.
See, I don't know if that... I don't like this.
It's because you don't have the balls.
I don't like this.
You don't have
There's
the
just
balls
nothing
to
like-
say something like the Philadelphia Phillies are going to win the National League East.
Well, see, that's different. That's different. But see, like why is that ballsy? They're 3.5 out of the Mets.
No,
That's
because
not ballsy.
Mets have been in first place the whole way. Everyone's been talking about how garbage the Phillies are. They're a 500 team right now. They have a negative run differential.
Yeah, but they're only 3.5 out with the whole half a season left.
Yeah. So then,
Like that. That's why. Like
so then what you're trying to say is that you do have the balls to say that the Phillies are going to win the NL East.
well, I would say that if you're counting the Philadelphia Phillies out of the division race right now, you're stupid.
No. But you could have the balls to say that there's no fucking chance that the Mets win the NL East and that the Phillies are going to win the NL East. Is that what you said?
No, that's not even close to what I've said. That's not even close to what I've said.
So you don't think that they're going to win the NL East then?
Like the ballsy call would be me telling you that the Washington Nationals are going to figure their shit out and win the division like I anticipated at the very beginning of the year.
Yeah.
But that's not ballsy. That's just going back and hoping.
Yeah, that's
what
just
I
not
thought.
going to happen.
No.
I would say, what about this? The Cubs, full-blown fire sale trade Rizzo, Bryant, and Baez. And Kimbrel, but that's less sentimental value there.
Yeah, that's bold. That's a bold take.
Cubs go...
Get rid of all three of those?
Yep,
Yeah, that's bold.
that's pretty bold.
That's strong. So is that what you're saying?
That's what I'm saying. I say
You're
the
saying
Cubs
right
go
now-
full fire sale and trade Chris Bryant, Anthony Rizzo, and Javi Baez. I feel like if one doesn't get moved, it'll be Baez. But if you're going to blow it up, then blow it up.
All right. So then staying along that same vein here, bold prediction. The Colorado Rockies
Ooh.
do not
Ooh.
trade Trevor Story. And are like, you know what? We completely fucked that up with Nolan. I feel like we learned some things, and we want to go about this differently. And we still have a guy that maybe we feel strongly enough about that we could treat that way to a degree. So it's all right. We like how this story plays out with him at shortstop with us. They don't trade Trevor Story. They try to sign him.
They try to sign him. Didn't he already say, like, on the record, like, there's no fucking chance I'm signing there?
Hey, Nolan thought there was no fucking chance he'd ever play for anybody else other than the Colorado Rockies.
Okay. So your bold prediction is that Trevor Story doesn't get traded. Interesting.
Because you heard all the Rockies fans at our live show. All of them were like, win. We need something to happen, and we know that it's Story.
In the American League, do I make like a wild card prediction here? Like, do I have the Seattle Mariners knocking off the Oakland A's to get into the wild card picture?
No, you don't.
Do I?
No.
I don't, but I might have the Blue Jays doing it.
You might have the Blue Jays doing it.
I might have the Blue Jays doing it.
See, you don't believe that either.
I do.
No, you don't.
I do.
No, you don't. You know that they've got to play the Red Sox, and they've also got to play the Rays. That's not going to happen.
They've played
The
them
A's
tough.
get to play the Angels, the Mariners, the Rangers.
The Toronto Blue Jays this year, they are 4-5 against the Red Sox. They are 5-8 against the Rays. 6-6 against the Yankees. 6-3 against Baltimore.
Yeah, there's only 5 teams in the AL with 50-plus wins.
So you don't love the Blue Jays getting a playoff spot.
No.
You don't
No,
love
I
that.
mean, who's it between right now? Right now, it would be between. Is it? No, it's Tampa and it's Tampa and Oakland, right?
Yeah, and Oakland's not really that good.
We're underperforming, and we've been hampered by injuries.
You have the plus 72 run differential Blue Jays trying to overtake the plus 32 Oakland A's. That could happen.
I don't see it
It
happening.
could happen, though.
Well, if that's your bold prediction, that would be a bold one.
That the Blue Jays get hot in the second half and get that second wild card spot. And the A's miss
No.
the playoffs entirely because obviously they're not better than Houston.
You don't know that. Healthy. You don't know that one healthy.
No. All right, that's you know what? That's my bold prediction. That's my bold prediction in the American League. The Blue Jays overtake the Oakland A's for the second wild card spot.
Well, we'll just have to wait and see how that one pans out.
Yeah.
We'll see in October.
Yeah, you'll see the Blue Jays in October.
No, we absolutely will not.
Yeah. Shout out to all the great fans up in Toronto.
That hopefully we'll get to see their baseball team soon.
Yeah.
God, could you imagine that?
Can you imagine the support for that team? Not only do they're the Toronto Blue Jays, so they have the support of an entire country. They're the only team in Canada. And then they've played home games in Dunedin, Florida. So the Dunedians, they love the Blue Jays. And then in Buffalo, they love the Blue Jays too. They are the most supported team in Major League Baseball.
Dunedians, Buffadians, and Canadians all converge to cheer on their Jays.
Yeah. Why wouldn't you?
Dunedian?
Yeah.
That's great. That's a great, like, I want a shirt that says, I'm Dunedian, eh? With the fucking, or I want a shirt that just has a Dunedian man with the state of Florida on it.
Yeah. Dunedian, man. Yeah. I love it.
Jared, do you have any dark and stormies over this weekend?
I did, but what's your bold prediction in the American League?
Oh, I gave you my bold prediction in the NL. I guess I'll give you a bold prediction in the American League. Oh, dude. I mean, fuck, man. Really?
Yeah.
My bold prediction in the American League is that the Baltimore Orioles will finish 40 games out of first place.
What are they at right now?
26.
What did they finish in 2018? 2018
I don't-
AL East.
I don't know.
I'm pretty sure it was. Oh my God! They finished 61 games out of first place.
Oh, well, that's not a bold prediction at all then. Fuck.
2018, they were 47 and 115, 61 games back of the 108 win Boston Red Sox, who won the World Series.
Well, then, you know what? I feel like this Orioles club may be a little better than that Orioles club.
They are.
No?
Yeah.
So then is a bold prediction saying the O's will get to 70 wins?
70? They are currently 28-61.
Yeah. 60 wins.
They would have to play like
That's my bold
700
prediction.
ball.
That's my bold prediction is the Baltimore Orioles get to 60 wins this season.
Okay.
That's just going to give me shit to talk to RDT for the rest of the season.
60 wins.
Your 60-win Baltimore Orioles.
I love it.
O's win 60, we're popping bottles.
Just get 60.
I'm going to make RDT a shirt with a fucking number 60 and an asterisk next to it. He's not going to have any idea what it's. Well, he will, but fuck. It'll be good.
Oh, boy. Anyways. Let me get a dark and stormy. Gosling's rum, with its Bermudian values, motivates people to take time to stop and smell the roses, to step away from the rat race and be happy. Family owned and operated since 1806. Gosling's rum is the spirit of Bermuda, and the dark and stormy is Bermuda's national drink. The name Dark and Stormy was said to have originated around the 1920s when an old fisherman observed that the drink was the color of a cloud only a fool or a dead man would sail under.
Yo.
Probably followed by barman, I'll have another Dark and Stormy. Gosling's makes it even easier as they have ready-to-drink Dark and Stormy canned cocktails. It's 100% authentic with no malt base. It's just Gosling's Black Seal rum and Gosling Stormy ginger beer ready to go. Find it in your local liquor store's fridge or pre-mixed cocktail aisle. Gosling's is the official rum of the Boston Red Sox and offer a limited release Red Sox edition Fenway Green Dark and Stormy can available at Fenway Park and at liquor stores in New England. Head on over to reservebar.com and receive $15 off your order of any Gosling's product with the promo code Barstool. The Angels, in desperate need of pitching, have signed Adam Eaton, who was released by the White Sox. Cool.
Sure.
Sure. Sounds
Like-
good. You know?
But yeah, like honestly, great. Like, is this just trying to fit somebody else into that rotation out there until Trouty comes back?
Pretty much.
That's all that is.
That's all that is.
There's no, I mean, they've had, because they lost Fowler in April.
Yeah.
Like, they've not had a good run of it.
They're still trying, though, which is nice.
Are they?
Yeah. I mean, after that draft, you can't tell me the Angels aren't like, you know what? Fuck it, let's try.
What I say during the live show? There's no other way to process your team, who's endured the injuries and the turbulence they have on the mound, that you're paying attention to drafting 20 fucking pitchers.
Yeah, fuck yeah.
They got 20 pitchers, 20 rounds, 20 pitchers. So, yeah, the Angels absolutely sent the message. Like, we get it. Got it.
Need pitchers.
And that goes to everybody in that organization. Like, we will be developing arms. We're going to have to. And that's what's just bananas to think, is because it isn't necessarily that way for them. They don't have to just develop arms. They've been in places, they've been in spots where they could go out and get a player. They could go spend money on a player. And for whatever reason, they've chosen to allocate that money in different places where they haven't had that gaping lack of production.
Sure.
And that is the head scratcher.
Yeah, we've talked enough about the Angels' shortcomings in the last 35 episodes. The Red Sox are calling up Jarren Duran, top outfield prospect. Have you seen this dude's arms?
I saw a picture today.
Yeah, they're huge.
He's taking a photo.
Yeah, he's jacked. I don't know how they're gonna fit him in. I don't know, in terms of like the outfield where that sort of fits. Hunter Renfroe's having a fucking career year in Boston. Kike has really turned a corner in terms of defense and being able to hit on the leadoff spot. He's been really good in center. Alex Verdugo, he was a fringe all-star this year. So I don't know. It's got like it's always weird when you call up a guy without the immediate need. Because, if you're a prospect, you don't want a guy just sitting on the bench,
right,
hurting his development. You don't want to start his clock for no reason. And there's really no reason to take away playing time from Verdugo, Kike, or Hunter Renfroe. So it'll be interesting to see how the Red Sox navigate that. The Red Sox today also called up Tanner Houck, who, if you remember, after making his debut in the big leagues last year, was a filth factory. I think he made like 3 starts and he punched out 10 in like every start, and he was absolutely dominant. But I think that the Red Sox will probably use him in more of a Garrett Whitlock role, where he's going to be piggybacking guys. Chris Sale also was sent to begin his rehab assignment today, Dallas.
I love that.
So, I mean, if you're using Houck in that role, where you're piggybacking him with Sale or maybe Martin Perez, who they only let see the lineup the first 2 times through, I like it. It's another weapon. I mean, they definitely have some shit bums in their bullpen that you have no problem making room for a guy like Tanner Houck in favor of whomever. I don't know what the corresponding move is. I don't know if they've announced that yet. But Trevor Bauer's administrative leave has been extended, which is not surprising. It's been extended to July 27th. So when they basically extended the administrative leave, or when they were talking about putting him on administrative leave to begin with, that was the narrative of he was supposed to be starting that coming Sunday. And there was the outcry of how the hell could the Dodgers put him on the mound with all of this going on, all the speculation, the accusations. How are you going to put him on the mound? And so he was put on administrative leave, which I believe was set for 7 days. But it's like, well, what good does that do unless the issue is resolved? And there is a hearing on the 23rd, I believe the date is. So I think the league is more just taking the stance of Mr. Bauer was accused of something. We're taking it very seriously, as it is very serious in nature. They have an official hearing on the 23rd where he'll be able to present any evidence that may help show his innocence. If that's the case, why bring him back before that? So July 27th is when it's been extended through. We'll see what comes out in that hearing, because we as podcasters, we did touch on the subject when it first came out, and acknowledging the accusations, but also waiting to hear like what's hello. Like, let's hear what the other side of the story is, and then we're not prosecutors. We don't handle the discussions of crimes. That's not. We talk about hitting home runs and we talk about Shohei Ohtani pitching baseballs. We don't. That's not our forte. So we'll let the legal system handle that. And then when it's handled, we'll have plenty to say about it. But until then, Trevor Bauer's administrative leave extended through July 27th, and that hearing will be on the 23rd. Dallas, you ever pop a teaser?
I have, Jared.
Mm-hmm.
And you know me, I'm a go slow kind of guy, but there's times where you're lagging, you're dragging. For instance, the day after the Derby, need a little boost, need a little uplift after a long night out with my boys from Canadips. What I needed was a boost. So what did I do? I went to my friend's Teza. More focus, more energy. That's going to help me do everything I need to do throughout the day. Maybe you're somebody on the diamond. Maybe you're somebody in the office space. Maybe you're a cube monkey, as they're deemed. Doesn't mean your focus isn't any less important than mine or anybody else's. Laser focus is what you're looking for. Teza helps you get there. Nutrient pouches provide oral stimulation, penetrating flavor. It's in you and on you. Boom. Right now. 7 delicious flavors to choose from. 14 different product options. That includes pouches with caffeine, pouches without caffeine, whatever you're looking to do. Drinking with a Teza in your mouth, that right there is what we call a party. A party in your face. Takes a flavor and just sends it through the roof. Yeah. Try flavored seltzer, a little cherry, or a mango Teza. Boom. Teas and teeny, as they say. That's what you're hammering down. Martini with a mango hob Teza pouch. Folks, the possibilities and the combinations are endless. Teza highlights include, again, 0 tobacco. Big fan of that. 0 nicotine. Big fan of that. 0 calories. And again, no spitting this juice. You spit it, you're getting rid of the good stuff. No. Go ahead and swallow that. That's all for you. Enjoy that. The best tasting tobacco alternative, fresher breath, cuts cravings for snacks, cuts cravings for the oral tobacco that we just talked about, none of the cigarettes and sodas and all that other shit. No. You can replace all of your oral fixators with Teza. Seeds, gum, doesn't matter. Flavor's on you right now, and right now you can get it on you at a 30% off clip. How? You use Barstool 30 on your initial purchase at TezaEnergy.com. That's Barstool 30. That's going to get you 30% off your first purchase at TezaEnergy.com. TeaZa Energy.com.
Love it. All right, the fucking Red Sox are getting railroaded already. It's the only game. It'd be nice to have all the days off. The Red Sox apparently don't get all the days off. So Red Sox-Yankees will open up the second half of the Major League Baseball season tonight, Thursday. It's the fucking only game on the schedule, which, as a fan, I love, hey, all eyes on me. But at the same time, would be nice if our guys had all the fucking vacation days that were allotted to every other team in the league. So we'll see about that. Astros, White Sox, they go head-to-head on Friday. That'll be a good one. 2 first-place teams, 2 of the best teams in the American League going head-to-head. And then the first-place San Francisco Giants, they begin a series with the St. Louis Cardinals on Friday. Any thoughts on that series, Dallas?
I mean, I don't want to call it a layup against the St. Louis Cardinals.
Oh, okay.
But I feel like the reason that was highlighted was like, oh, it's first place Giants getting their second half started.
Yeah.
Against the Cardinals.
Yeah.
I feel like that's the only reason that was thrown in there. Like, you tell me why we're highlighting a series against a first place team and a fourth place team.
Damn. The A's open up against the Cleveland Indians, so that's a first-place team against a wild card hopeful. You have the Road to 60. Baltimore Orioles will open up against the Kansas City Royals. And then this one is another one worth highlighting. My Milwaukee Brewers are opening their second half against the Cincinnati Reds. And I know that the Milwaukee Brewers have been on fire for like a month and a half now. But don't sleep on these Reds. These Reds in the second half, they could surprise some folks. They're only a +8 on the run differential, but they have scored 435 runs. This team has won 3 straight. They won 8 out of their last 10 before the break. They were starting to hit their stride.
Is that where I go with the NL Bowl prediction then?
What, that the Reds win the division or that they make the playoffs?
Cincinnati Red Leggings
What do you got?
take over the Milwaukee Brew Crew?
Oh, well, that's not going to happen. That's a stupid take. It's not a bold take.
You don't know that.
Stupid. That is a stupid take.
Jared, you know what I got? You know what I got my hands on this week?
What's up?
I got my hands on a key.
What kind of key?
Not just any key.
What's up?
I don't know that I can really disclose what that key actually does, what that key actually opens up. I'm going to post a picture a little later.
Okay.
And we'll see if Brewers fans have any idea
Oh, I was there for this.
What I might now have access to.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's going to be a good time. I can't wait to get to Milwaukee. Maybe I'll go when Cincinnati squares off against Milwaukee for the division title.
Yeah.
Do they what's the end of their schedule look like?
Let's see.
Milwaukee.
I mean, it doesn't really matter. The Brew Crew is clearly
Oh
the
no,
best
buddy!
team in the
If
division.
we've
No,
got
no,
three,
no,
if you got three with the Cincinnati Red Leggings,
no. They actually closed out with 3 against the Dodgers.
ooh, okay. So let's do a little
Kind of close. Like the season ends kind of late. That's October 1st, 2nd, and 3rd.
Okay, so well, let's see who the Reds finish their season with.
For a team in their division, their last time playing the Reds is August 24th through the 26th.
The Brewers?
Yeah.
That's the last time they'll match up. The last time that they could potentially impact each other's season.
Yep.
I don't know that I like that a whole lot. And the Reds finish with a 4-game set. Oh, actually, here's what the Reds' last few games look like. They got a 3-game set against the Pirates, 4-game set against the Nats, and then finish with 2 against the White Sox. So they got a 7-game stretch there between the Pirates and the Nats. Maybe they can make up some ground.
Maybe.
Call it a split between the White Sox. Should those Milwaukee Brewers lose the last 3 of the season against the Dodgers? Could be there.
Could be.
We'll see. You have any final thoughts?
Final thoughts. I'm excited for the second half. I'm excited for the races. I'm excited for the home run race, the Major League home run race, because that's the only one that matters. I don't care who leads in the American League or the National League. It's the Major League home run race this year. I'm excited for that.
Who you got winning that? Come on.
It's not. I'm not gonna pick Shohei.
You don't. Doesn't make any sense to me. Go ahead.
Not gonna pick Shohei. You know what? Vladdy Cakes is gonna win it.
You're going Vlad Cakes.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, the only thing I worry about Shohei is if there's going to be like a period where like a time off thing where he's not getting the regular ABs down the stretch.
Got a plan for that.
It's the only
Scheduled
thing I worry about.
off days, I believe they call them, Dallas.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Do you have the balls? Do you have
tell
the
you-
balls, Dallas, to say that even with those scheduled off days, Shohei is still going to lead the majors in home runs this year?
2 huge nuts to drop right on your forehead.
You do have the balls to say that.
Absolutely.
You do. Say it.
Absolutely.
Say it.
Shohei Ohtani will unequivocally be the Major League home run leader at the end of this race.
Okay.
Done deal. Because I have it on fairly decent authority that should those built-in off days start to become a real factor, understanding that the health of the future is what we're concerned with,
Yeah.
curtailing those outings becomes something that happens, and you see more of Shohei offensively.
Yes.
Because that just is going to be that's just from what I know and understand, that seems to be the path.
Yeah.
So-
Interesting.
Thinking about a guy coming off Tommy John, a guy that you're already kind of, controlling and putting in a bubble of sorts at times on the mound. If you're not going to be competitive at a certain point in time, and you have the ability to kind of taper him off of the arm and get him in a spot where recovering and building up is what he can do the minute the last pitch is thrown, feel like that's probably an approach.
Yeah. All right. I don't hate the pick. I don't hate the
He
pick.
can't because he's the leader in the clubhouse by 5 right now.
Vladdy's coming.
He ain't even breathing hard yet, Jared. Don't worry.
Vladdy's. I mean, he was breathing pretty hard in Denver. Well, let's be honest. He was.